Hi, everybody. This is David Tear. Welcome to Old Time Rock and Roll. And this is my channel where I try to profile a different artist every day whose birthday it is today. I haven't been able to make any videos the last few days. Got a lot of other stuff going on, unfortunately. But anyway, today happens to be this guy, David Crosby's birthday. He just died earlier this year, I think in January. Um, but he was a very famous folk musician. Got his start in the early six or mid '60s, I guess, with a famous folk band called the Byrds. This is the Byrds here. They were a very big folk rock band. Mid '60s, had several hits, including "Mr. Tambourine Man," which was their version of a famous Bob Dylan song, and also "Turn, Turn, Turn," whose lyrics were taken from a book of the Old Testament, in particular Ecclesiastes. So, anyway, those are some big hits for them. They were very popular for a while. But I guess they kind of moved on, and so did David Crosby. But he formed a new band in the late '60s with a couple fellow musicians of his, Stephen Stills and Graham Nash, and both of those musicians had been with other groups. Stephen Stills and Neil Young were part of a group called Buffalo Springfield. They only had really one big hit. That was For What It's Worth in 1967. But Graham Nash was with a big British group called the Hollies. Even stayed with that group while he was with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And anyway, that was Crosby, Stills, and Nash. But then another guy named Neil Young joined them sometimes. And I think early on he was with them on most of their hits. And Crosby, Stills, Nash, or Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young were very popular, again, sort of a folk group. Very popular, got their start, I think, in 1968. But they remained strong ever since, pretty much. And they had some big songs. Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, I think, was one of their first big ones. Then they also had a hit called Our House, which I think was written by Stephen Stills. He was talking about his relationship with Joni Mitchell. So I guess it was their house. That's what they were singing about in that song. And they had some more big hits in the '70s, '80s, mostly without Neil Young. They had, let's see, Wooden Ships and Just a Song Before I Go and Wasted on the Way and Southern Cross. Those are just some of their hit songs. But I think they were a really good group, and I think David Crosby was a very good member of that group and a very good singer on his own. So anyway, that's my tribute to David Crosby, and that's my video for tonight. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you next.